3 steps to investment success. Can we really sort of achieve that within 3 steps? I think you can, right? So here's my plan. And by the way, so some of you, I know some of you are on this call who have been through, we just finished doing an 8-week investment mastermind. And some of you will hopefully testify how simple that whole framework is. And, you know, I go into a lot more detail in that, but essentially it is a simple process. It's as simple as you want to make it. Okay. And so first step is follow those core investment rules, which I'm going to go through in a minute. Okay, that's the foundation. Okay, that's building your foundation. It's kind of mindset related, but it's also sort of knowing what to do and knowing what to avoid. Know your own objectives. Know where you need to go to. All of you guys will be familiar with that sort of concepts, right? So it's about where you want to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years time and working backwards. Okay, so know what your objectives are. So you build the correct investment strategy on day one to get you to your objectives. So know that, know number 1, know number 2. And then number 3, it's all about implementation. So once you've built your foundations, number 1 and 2, you then just go and implement that in a simple and low cost way. So those are your 3 steps to investment success. Sounds easy, and I promise you it's that easy. Okay, it's as easy as investing in one product, just one investment product. Okay, so you do all those 3, you forget and let your compounding work its magic. Okay, that's all you need to do. Warren Buffett, he's probably one of the most quoted investors out there, and this is one I like. Okay, so he said the most important quality for an investor is temperament and patience. That's all, okay? You don't need specialist knowledge or hard work. Simplicity and patience just works. It's one of the few things. So, you know, if you are training to be a doctor or a dentist, or if you're training to be a lawyer, or even property, if you're training to be a property professional, you need experience. You need to sort of do your years, okay? You need to work hard. The great thing about investing is you can be a really lazy investor. Okay, you don't need any specialist knowledge. You can just apply some core principles, and you'll be one of the best investors out there. And just to finish off on this point, one of the things that you can search it up on Google. So Fidelity, it's an investment platform. It did a survey amongst its investors a few years ago, to see who, amongst all of its investors, who had performed the best. Okay, so it did this survey, and it found amongst its thousands and thousands of investors, the number 1 best performing investor, number 1 group, they were dead. So they were best performing investors because they couldn't tinker around. They couldn't do anything funky with their portfolios because they'd already died. Okay, so it's all about long-term compounding and patience, right? So they're the best performing investors. And the second best performing investors, when Fidelity called them up, he said, "Did you know you were the second best performing investor group?" And they'd actually forgotten they had an account with Fidelity. So they'd forgotten they had money sitting there, which was sort of compounding away without them even knowing about it. So that says a lot to me. It's all about simplicity, patience, just having your money in the market, right? So your time in the market is the best performance strategy. So what are the main asset classes? Okay, so we talk about stocks a lot, but stocks aren't the only asset classes. Okay, so here's just risk versus return. Okay, so comparing different asset classes: cash, government bonds, corporate bonds, balanced portfolio, property, emerging markets, individual stocks. Okay, and off the chart is crypto, commodities, those sort of things. Okay, so this is very simple, comparing your volatility, so how volatile each of these asset classes tends to be versus its expected returns. Okay, so you see that relationship. The more risky or the more volatile an asset class is, generally it performs better. Okay, but it can also perform worse, right? But over the long term, this is generally how it tends to be.